Now in business today from the Journal Record, a key economic indicator for Oklahoma ticked upward in November. The Business Conditions Index in November rose to 49.3 from October's rate of 48.6, held back by pullbacks in the energy sector and slowdowns in construction. The October rate for the 9-state region, which includes Oklahoma, was 50 in October, the lowest level in a year. Economists attributed the downturn to the federal government's partial shutdown. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Oklahoma women earned 83% as much as their male counterparts in 2012. Nationwide, the ratio of women's pay to that of men was 80.9%. The numbers come as a surprise to Oklahoma employment security economists who say the state's energy jobs tend to skew the ratio because women typically don't work in those occupations. It's the third time Oklahoma has exceeded the national average since the agency began tracking data. Journal Record editor Ted Struley joins us to discuss stories making news in business this week. Ted, the Oklahoma Healthcare Authority is disputing a study claiming the state could save millions of dollars by changing its Medicaid prescription policies. What's the issue?
Well, the study came out and said that if the state ran its prescriptions program more like private business or some other programs out there, it could save the state as much as about $150 million a year, and if you included federal money, could save more than $500 million a year. The state countered, saying that it failed to take into consideration some substantial cost-cutting moves that are already in place.
Oklahoma City Council members have taken a step toward improving the city's curb appeal. Tell us about that.
They've created a registry for dilapidated and abandoned buildings where those property owners will have to register the buildings and the city can keep track of them. As it stands now, that loss in property values is estimated to cost the city about $20 million a year in revenue.
Oklahoma City's downtown area is about to become more crowded with an upcoming move by Opubco.
That's right. Opubco is expected to move into downtown, the Century Center building, in September. The issue has been parking. They need about 350 spaces. The original plan called to add 2 more levels of parking to the top of that building. That's proved to be problematic, so the developer is now looking to lease some parking spaces in the vicinity.
A major Tulsa office building has recently changed hands. What's that story?
Yeah, this is originally the Central High School building in Tulsa, and PSO, the electric provider, has been there for nearly 15 years. Their lease expires next year. They just decided they liked it and bought the building for $12.25 million.
Oil and gas drilling programs are increasing the need for recycling water.
Yeah, Crescent Services here in Oklahoma teamed up with a New Jersey company to start building above-ground tanks for recycled water, which are critical, especially in fracking operations. These tanks hold some 21 million gallons of water, but are portable and can move from site to site to help alleviate that problem.
It's not a business story, but one you follow. The Oklahoma Capitol's Ten Commandments Monument could be getting a new neighbor.
Yeah, the Satanic Temple out of New York has put forth a proposal to donate a statue of Satan to be put on the Capitol grounds. They're following all the procedures, just like the Ten Commandments statue project that went out there a couple years ago. They're willing to pay for it. They think it would show a lack of religious bias on the state's part. If they agree to that, we'll see how that one plays out.
And what are you working on for next week?
Next week we have an interview with the head of business development for OnCue, the convenience store and gas retailer, and we're going to be talking to her about their plans to build out CNG infrastructure to promote natural gas for vehicles.
All right. Ted Struley, editor of the Journal Record. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.